Have you ever dreamed about retiring to the sun, the vineyards, and the absolutely stunning coastlines of South Africa? It's a goal for so many people, and it really all boils down to one key document. So today, we're going to break down South Africa's popular retirement visa, step by step, using the official requirements as our guide. Okay, let's get into it. We've got a really clear 5-part journey ahead of us. First, we'll cover what this visa actually is. Then, we'll tackle the all-important money question. After that, we'll walk through the paperwork, see what life is like once you have it, and finally, look at how you can stay for good. All right, so first up, what exactly are we talking about here? Let's get a really clear definition of this visa and figure out who it's actually designed for. At its core, the retired person's visa is a pretty straightforward deal. The South African government is basically saying if you can prove you can support yourself financially without needing to find a local job, then you are more than welcome to come and live here. Simple as that. So, who's this for? You might think it's just for traditional pensioners, but that's not the case at all. It's for anyone who is financially independent, and that includes early retirees. And this is the part you really need to hear. Your age doesn't matter one bit. What matters is your income. And that brings us perfectly to the most critical part of this entire application. Seriously, this is the one hurdle that every single person, no matter their age or where they're from, absolutely has to clear. Everything else we talk about really hinges on the answer to this one question. It's the one thing that will determine your eligibility more than anything else. And here it is, the magic number. You have to be able to prove a guaranteed passive income of at least 37,000 South African rand, and that's per person per month. It's not just some random number. It's what the government sees as enough for you to live comfortably without having to dip into the local job market. So what do they mean by passive? Well, think of it as money that just shows up without you actively working for it. Inside South Africa, we're talking pensions, income from a rental property you own back home, or maybe dividends from your investments. So let's say you've looked at your finances and you meet that requirement. Awesome. Now let's get into the practical side of things, your application checklist. Okay, these are the non-negotiables for your application. You're going to need a valid passport, of course, standard medical reports, and police clearance from any country you've lived in recently. But let's be honest, the star of the show here, the most important document, is that proof of financial means. This is where your pension statements and annuity contracts really have to shine. The whole process itself is actually pretty logical. First, you get all your paperwork ready. Then, you submit it officially, usually through a consulate or a VFS Global Center. Step 3 is an appointment for your biometrics, fingerprints and a photo. And then you wait. Right now, the average wait time is somewhere around 8 to 12 weeks. Okay, let's hit the fast forward button. You've done the paperwork, the application is approved, and that visa is stamped in your passport. So what now? What are the rules for actually living in South Africa? This is a really important thing to understand. There are basically 2 versions of this visa. The standard one is temporary. It's good for up to 4 years, and you can renew it. But there is a path to permanent residence. Just know that it's a much stricter process, and for that, you have to prove that your 37,000 rand a month is guaranteed for the rest of your life. And this brings us to a huge point of confusion for so many people. I mean, you're living in this beautiful country, you've got free time. So, can you pick up a little freelance work? Maybe start a small online business? And the answer is a very, very clear no. The entire reason this visa exists is because you've proven you're financially self-sufficient, so it's strictly for residing, not for participating in the South African economy. All right, for our final section, let's look at the long-term picture. And I want to share a piece of advice that comes directly from an expert. This could literally make or break your application. This quote from an immigration practitioner in Cape Town really says it all. The absolute key is to be meticulous with your financial proof. Don't just meet that 37,000 rand number, prove it with clean, consistent, official documents. This is the spot where most applications fall apart. Okay, let's boil all of this down to the absolute essentials you need to remember. 1, financial proof is everything. 2, your age is irrelevant, but your passive income is not. 3, this visa is for retiring, not working. 4, there are 2 paths, temporary and permanent. And 5, meticulous paperwork is the name of the game. And that really leaves us with one final thought. For anyone who meets the criteria and is willing to go through the process with real care, an absolutely incredible lifestyle is waiting for you. So the only question you have to ask yourself is the paperwork worth the paradise?